welcome to my channel, Nigel's View on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. And what I would like to do is talk about lies. Our government lying to us and why they're never going to tell us about certain things. And those certain things are aliens, UFOs and Planet X. The end result or the end reason is going to be exactly the same for each and every one of them. But the reasons in between are different. I don't want to be scientific about this. I don't want to be too technical about this, and I don't want to go into too much detail in this because this will end up being a very, very long video otherwise. And I don't really like doing long videos. But the first thing I've got to ask you is, if a meteor, asteroid or a comet was on a collision course with Earth, do you think any of our world governments would actually tell us? I think the answer you already know. And for those people who have any doubt in this, any way, shape or form, the answer is going to be no. If they had a solution to the problem, then maybe we might actually get a glimpse, but being truthful, even then I doubt that we would be even told the slightest little bit. Anyway, let's continue with the video and let's be a little bit sensible and logical on our approach. And what I would like to start with is aliens and UFOs. Do they actually exist? Well, I do believe so. If you look, there are many depictions through history showing us that they do. Cave drawings, hieroglyphs in Egypt, go over to China, you go to India. Even in the Bible there's mention of craft. Everywhere we look, even down to renowned painters painting paintings, and if you look very carefully you can see craft in the sky. So yeah, I do believe they exist, and to think that we're the only life in the whole entire universe is a little bit naive. So if you look around the internet, there are many videos, many pictures showing the same things. Too much of a coincidence to say there's absolutely nothing there. There's nothing in it. Okay, there's many fake videos, there's many fake pictures, and people have their own reasons for doing what they're doing to make money or discredit what's there. But I think you can agree with me. One thing, there is something there. And it all can't be man-made, that's for sure. Well, I don't believe so. And where they come from, if they're demons or whatever. I mean, look at NASA. You know, drip feeding us information about planets and all the other bits and pieces. Oh, we believe that there's life here and, you know, but everything they've done, they've lied about. Never ask a scientist anything. That's what NASA stands for. That's what I believe anyway. Never a straight answer. That's what many people think. But yeah, I think the only way we're going to be told, well, we're not going to be told, we're going to have a fake alien invasion. And that's my belief. We've been warned about it by many people. Vernon von Braun is one of those people, and I hope I pronounced his name correctly. I'm sure I'm going to get some emails, but he actually stated, beware of the fake alien invasion.
We have to prevent the weaponization of space because there is a lie being told to everyone that the weaponization of space is now first being based upon the evil empire, the Russians. There are many enemies, he said, against whom we're going to build this space-based weapon system, the first of whom was the Russians, which was existing at that time. Then there would be terrorists. Then there would be third world countries. Now we call them rogue nations or nations of concern. Then there would be asteroids. And then he would repeat to me over and over, and the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat.
So maybe that is the only way we're going to get told. But we're being made ready for such scenarios, I do believe. I'm 52 years old and I can remember watching TV programs. UFOs. Star Trek.
The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Morecambe Mindy and Third Rock from the Sun, you know, just to name a few. And then you got the films, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T. There's many other films out there, Star Trek, Alien, John Carpenter's They Live.
Blinded us to the truth! Take a look. Stay away from me! Put these on! They have us! Look at them! They're everywhere!
So, I think we're being conditioned for what's to come, possibly. Who knows? And, well, like I say, we're being led down a garden path, and we're being told there is nothing there. So believe what you must, but I believe we're being made ready. Oh, and I nearly forgot, there's many presidents throughout history that have told us exactly the same thing. And what I'm going to do is play you the clip right now, so here we go.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
And I think you can agree that is a very, very strange statement for any president of the United States to make. What are they trying to tell us? What are they trying to say? So, let's talk about Planet X now. And there's a number of things you've got to know, and a number of things you need to know, especially the people that have just joined my channel, or they're looking for information, or the first time here. I'll just go over a few key points so that you've got some sort of understanding. And the first one would be the sun simulator. What the sun simulator does is produce extreme amounts of light. What the sun simulator does not is replace our sun. Our sun is 93 million miles away in space. Now, there's a lot of people going to argue that fact, but those are the statistics that we've been given. It's a big orange ball in the sky, and it produces our heat. And there's nothing that a scientist could produce, or at NASA or whoever it might be, to replace the heat of our sun. So it doesn't replace the heat from our sun in any way, shape or form. That's what you've got to remember. The idea of the sun simulator is if there's a planet in the sky, they can turn the light up or down. And I believe it to be LED, because that's what I've caught on my video, which I'll leave a link in the description box down below. So what else are they using to hide the planets? Chemtrailing. We don't actually know 100% what's in the chemtrail mix, poison, whatever you like to call it, the spray. But there is one thing we definitely know that they're using is finely chopped up aluminium into small particles, and when it's sprayed it makes the atmosphere look like a one-way mirror. And when it's used in combined with the sun simulator, it makes it extremely hard to see anything behind the horizon. And that's exactly what they're doing it for. That's its job, to hide the incoming. If you don't believe in chemtrails, you should see some of the pictures. They're playing noughts and crosses in the sky, they're drawing pentagrams, and they're just shoving it in our faces. X marks the spot. Come on guys. There is a downside to all this. What aluminium does to your body. Aluminium causes cancer. And we know this because maybe 10 years ago, maybe it was a little bit longer, they were talking about all the deodorants and roll-ons that men and women were using, and it contained aluminium, and it contributed, so they said, to cancer. So if that's so, if they're spraying all these particles of aluminium in the air, which we're breathing all the time, they've been spraying for the last 10 years, if not longer. We're not really too sure how long they've been spraying for, but over the last 10 years, how many people do you know that's had cancer? There's just been like a mass explosion. And the last system they seem to have in place, and I'm sure they've got more systems, but this is what we know, is the Fresnel lens system. Now, I've got many videos where I've caught the lens flare of this Fresnel lens and a spinning sun. So is Richie from Boston and Jeff P. And he's got many videos and done lots and lots of work about it. And the whole idea of this spinning Fresnel lens system is to turn the sun into a big kaleidoscope, so you can't see the focal points of the incoming planets, and as they seem to be coming in from behind the sun, it makes extreme sense in what they're doing. With all the three systems in place, the chemtrailing, the sun simulator and the Fresnel lens, it makes it very, very difficult to see what's in the sky. What makes me sit up and pay attention is when Obama starts signing executive orders about space weather and talking about the weather being a national security risk. Pardon? And they're talking about CME this and EMP that. What do they know that they're not telling us? This is what I would expect to see if we had incoming planets. All these different things happening. The earthquakes, the volcanoes, the sinkholes, they all go hand in hand. Another strange thing that I find extremely strange is you get John Kerry, Neil Armstrong, the Krill, the Pope and many others gone to South Pole. Now, the South Pole is the best vantage point to see Planet X as it's coming in on our southern ecliptic, and that is where they got a massive big telescope, so it makes absolute sense. But did they go there to see Planet X, or is there something else there that we don't know? Well, when all these systems break down, you know for a fact what's going to happen, and they can hide the incoming planets no more. There is going to be a massive distraction, and I believe there's going to be a war or something major on that sort of lines. The only way of making you turn the opposite direction and keep your head away from where you should be looking, and that's what I believe. But let's wrap this up and talk about the real reason that you're never going to be told about the incoming meteorites, the asteroids, the comets, UFOs, aliens, and especially Planet X. And here's the answer you've been waiting for. So if you can imagine, we've got a march of 100,000 people and everybody decided to do their own thing, and law broke down instantaneously for whatever reason, and they all done their own thing, like killing people, breaking into buildings, whatever it might be. It would be very hard to keep control of all those people. Now, if it was 1 million people, it wouldn't really matter whereabouts in the world it was. You had 1 million people on a march and they all decided to do their own thing, and it all got out of order. The authorities would not stand a chance. But we're not talking about 1,000,000 people, we're talking about 7 billion people. And if we were to take 3.5 billion people and they all decided to go on a rampage, the world would be in utter chaos. There is nothing that nobody could do about it in any way, shape or form. And if you think about it, it really does apply. If they told us about an incoming asteroid or comet or meteor that was going to come and impact the Earth, aliens or Planet X, the outcome is exactly the same. The end result is exactly the same. And we use the figure 3.5 billion people. The first thing that would happen is religion would just break down as we know it, especially with aliens. The next thing that would happen, governments would fall, banks would close, monetary systems would fail, society would just break down into nothing. There would not be no law. It would be like the Wild West over again. People doing exactly what they wanted to do, go around killing people, taking what they wanted. Life would be unbearable. So for them not to tell us, that is protecting us from us. And that's exactly what they're doing. This is what you've got to understand. There is no way that they can control 7 billion people on this planet. The world would just fall apart as we understand it. And it would become a very horrible place to live. A planet with no law. A planet with no scruples. A planet with no love. A planet with hate. A planet that would like to destroy itself. And that's exactly what would happen if they told us about any of those things. This is what you've got to understand. This is the reason why we're never ever going to be told. When the incoming planets are visible and they can hide them no longer, and I don't think that's going to be too far away, we're going to have a major distraction, like I said, and it's going to make you turn the opposite direction. So you can't see over your shoulder exactly what's coming. You're too focused on what's happening in front of you. This is my belief, and this is what I believe would happen if they actually told us about any of the subjects we've spoke about today. Whether you agree with me or not, well, you're entirely entitled to your own opinion, as this is my opinion. But these are the reasons I believe that they would not tell us. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching, for listening, if you've made it this far. If you think there's something that I've missed and I should have desperately put in my video, please leave a comment in the box below and let me know, or send me an email. Much love and peace to each and every one of you, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.